Welcome back. As promised, we have in-studio guest Juan Hernandez. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Bonnie. How are you?
Good. It is a South Bay phenomenon right now going on with all of the volleyball, and you're a pretty big fanatic, aren't you?
Absolutely. I mean, anybody who's been watching the show obviously knows that I definitely got my fill of volleyball this season.
Well, since you've been out and about and you've covered South, North, Bishop, now I think, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit more about the Bishop-Montgomery semifinal game?
Okay. Well, the Knights finally met their match after an undefeated Del Rey League season and a hot playoff run. They fell 3-1 against El Segundo, and normally it's first to 25, but not here. The Knights and the Eagles needed 58 points combined to decide just the second set, with Gundo winning it 30-28 in spite of, big surprise, another big night from Chris Heppel with 23 kills. And while the school year is winding down and spring semester playoffs heat up, South Bay volleyball has suddenly become the talk of the town. We know Bishop took their lumps against El Segundo in an intense semifinal, but what about those other Torrance schools still in the mix? Pioneer League and crosstown rivals North and South split their regular season series, so you knew a rubber match in the playoffs was something we couldn't miss. Check it out.
It's probably not going to take a whole heck of a lot to up the ante when the CIF Southern Section Championship is on the line. But throw in the South versus North crosstown rivalry, you're gonna get some volleyball players ready to bring it. And if the PA system's giving you some troubles before the game, just hand the mic over to Saxon coach Jonathan Kaneshiro, because he knew how to get the party started just right. Spartan senior Charlie Gage dominated the Saxons at the net early on, helping South get off to a quick 1-0 lead. And they were pumped, taking the first set 25-27. The Saxons, they took that as a wake-up call. So North took every opportunity they could get to throw a few celebrations of their own. Like I said, this isn't just any playoff game we're talking about here. North's Frank Jimenez threw a couple haymakers at the Spartans' front line, and at 22-19, the Saxons looked poised to tie the match at 1 before Spartan Ryan Music took control, putting North in a huge hole with 2 big kills to storm back from behind and win 25-23. In the third set, the Saxons went on a great late rally after trailing 16-11, but with South's size at the net, they weren't blocking balls, they were forcing errors, sending the Big Green into a frenzy and a chance to play for the Southern Section Championship. Way to go, Big Green.
North is a great team. We weren't going to, underestimate them at all. So we just came out fired up, and we just knew our game plan, and we just wanted to come out and execute.
Bottom line, those guys really want it, and they're going to go after, everything they can get. And Shahan just really stepped up today. He really came out there and just, he doesn't get a lot of kills, but he got enough to, really kind of, set us on our heels. And so, spreading the ball around and mixing it up and making some great plays really made a difference for them.
We'll do some scouting. We've got certain things. We'll look at maybe some rotation stuff and what we want to do as far as a blocking scheme. But essentially, we'll keep it the same. We might do some matchups, but otherwise, we got to just keep the energy and stay focused and just come out and play our game.
The Spartans wouldn't have been able to put up such huge offensive numbers without a big night from their setter, Jason Chang, who spread out 39 assists through 3 sets. And Bonnie, we see Gage and Music on the board for the Spartans as well.
Gotta mention Frank Jimenez and Daniel Higuchi on the Saxon squad. The Spartans won, setting up a Spartan Eagles final.
And of course, taking a look at how that meeting went down, it was El Segundo sticking it to the entire city of Torrance just one more time.
Ouch.
Winning the CIF Southern Section Championship in 3 straight sets. Ryan Music led his team with 10 kills and adding 2 blocks on defense, but unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough to bring home the school's first ever league championship in boys volleyball.
And of course, our congratulations to the Spartans, though, for a great season, getting all the way to the finals after entering the playoffs and beating 4 different league champions along the way.
Yeah, whether you're a Knight, a Saxon, or a Spartan, it's definitely a season worth being proud of for South Bay volleyball fans.
That sure is, and I'll bet you've enjoyed following it. And they're all so young. So it's going to only get better.
Yeah, you would imagine. I mean, Ryan Musick and I actually talked after that big semifinal win, and one of the things he said to me was that the season started out so rough partly because they were such a young team. They had so many 10th graders on that team, and you could tell as the season went by that they started to kind of click, and you can only imagine that going into next season, they'll be able to pick up on that.
Man, if only the season was a little bit longer.
Just a little bit.
Well, Juan, thanks so much for coming in today.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Stick around. We've got another in-studio guest with Brandon Ortega, who talks El Camino baseball with us.